What's up, y'all? 5D Lifestyles here with my boys in our raft that I bought from my company back home, Blazing Paddles. And we just thought we'd inflate it because we want to go rafting soon, right, boys? Yeah, because rafting's super fun. Super fun. And last year, when I brought it down here, TSA decided to put some slashes in here, so it's got huge holes that I patched last year. We just want to make sure it's holding air before we make the trek to the river and find out that it's not. Seems to be. But, you know, with this thing inflated and the fact that I started raft guiding 20 years ago, I just thought I'd do a video about my journey, my life as a raft guide. I happen to be a second generation raft guide. My daddy, my uncle, and my mama, they started this company, Blazing Paddles. My mom came up with the name Blazing Paddles. Pretty cool. We might have some third-year generations. We might have some it's grandma. We might have some third-year generation raft guides right here. Who knows? And it's been quite the journey, and I just wanted to share it with you. I just wanted to tell the story of my raft guide experience. I started rafting. I was a blessed little boy, and I got to start rafting at 9 months when I was just a wee little lad. You started at 1 year and 3 months, and you started 1 year at 5 months. So I've kept up with the tradition. I got to start at 9 months. My dad was the kind of guy that is like, my life is not gonna change now that I have kids. So he took me in a big crib in the middle. It was a very flat river. It was actually a multi-day river. He said I had a great time. But that he wouldn't take me again until I could wipe my own butt. Said it was a challenging one for him. But yeah, I got lucky. I got to grow up on the river. I got to raft all through my childhood, and it had a very profound effect on my life. Rivers and boating are amazing. I got to kayak. I got to learn how to kayak young. My uncle was quite the kayaker, him and my dad, and their buddy Steve Sewell and some of their other buddies, Tim Hagman. We got lucky. I got to grow up with my cousins and my cousin and my friends kayaking when we were young. I think 14 I started kayaking. So yeah, I started when I was 18 years old raft guiding, right? Because that was as soon as I could. My first job, I remember my first consistent job when I was 16. I remember, I was like doing maintenance and like cleaning for a condominium company. I'd see the raft trailers go by. I'm like, I just want to be a raft guide. And because I grew up rafting, I was very good as a raft guide when I first started out at 18. But what I did not consider is there's so much more to raft guiding than just being able to maneuver a boat down whitewater and rivers. And that is that you have, 6 to 8 new strangers you meet every day, and there's a whole social element to raft guiding. As a wee little 18-year-old lad, I was intimidated. It was wild, engaging and interacting with these people, and it was scary, and I was not really good at that part when I started out. Yeah, like as a kid, I was a bit of a class clown in school, but then all of a sudden you get grown adults, CEOs, people that own their companies, all sorts of important people. I was rafting out of Aspen, so there's a lot of important people. They come into your boat and you got to chat with them, you got to entertain with them, you got to talk to them, you got to hang with them on the drives in and out. It took me a while to get into the social element of it. I got lucky though. My second year when I was 19, I got to be the safety kayaker. So I was like cruising along with the raft, making sure if anybody fell out that, no one kept going. So I was like support crew. And it was really awesome because I got to work with some good guys. They both happen to be Kiwi guys. One of them I still very much know and is a close friend of mine. His name's Scotty Gibson. A lot of y'all watching this know him. Good man. As a 19-year-old, I was kind of idolized him. He's hilarious. He commanded the show. He was funny and kind of domineering, if you will. He, he just kind of said what he wanted, did what he wanted. He got away with it because he had that strong, thick Kiwi accent.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you supposed to be at work? Who's up with you guys?
Always makes me laugh when Scotty kicks his shit and talks to people with the door open.
And he was a very, very good raft guide. and also very wonderful with people. So I just got to be Scotty's little 19-year-old sidekick, and because I couldn't drive, so I would just ride along with him in the car, listen to him spiel. I'd throw in my 2 cents, but pretty much I just had like a giant grin on my face from the start of work to the end of work for like 8 hours long. I just was smiling all the way through it. I was stoked to be doing what I was doing, and I was taking notes mentally, learning from the master. I was loving it. I was loving it. My second year, I got to be the safety kayaker. My third year was a drought year, so there was no class 4 or 5. There was no safety kayaking to be had. It was just like you go down a 20-minute section of rapids, and then it was like an hour and a half of flat water. So let's just say I got really good at entertaining. I got really good at talking to people. I got more and more comfortable. Fourth year, I was class 4 or 5 guide, and I got more and more comfortable doing it every year. And honestly, that's one of the best takeaways I've had from this job, is just being comfortable with people, being comfortable socializing with people, being comfortable with public speaking.
My name's Talbot. Thanks for coming out today, gang. Being a part of this experiment. I mean, trip down here in the slaughterhouse. We really appreciate all you guys coming out. So I'm gonna go over some safety stuff today. Some stuff might happen, some stuff might not happen. You never know. It's a lot of boats out, so I'm saying stuff probably will happen. So make sure you pay close attention.
It's been such a wonderful experience, and it's been wild. Like, I've started 20 years ago, so I started as a little 18-year-old, and like got to watch more and more guides come in, and really that's like one of the main reasons why I've stayed for so long. It's just the family of guides that we have at Blazing, and it's like an interesting group of characters that always wind up rolling through the biz. They're all similar in that they're just down to have fun, they're kooky, they're characters, and it's a fun family to work with. I really enjoy it.
This is so filling.
Yeah, let's just stick your hands up if you've done this before. And the rest of you guys, you've never been on a bus.
I'm sorry I missed the whole thing.
Right up and over it.
What up, peanut butter pig?
No prints. Today's so far been the best day of my life.
Also, the best day of mine. It was incredible.
Woo.
So yeah, I kept doing it for a while, and then like year 12, you know, like when I was 29, I was like, all right, I got to get serious with life. I want to have a family. I want to have some children, and I want to have a garden, and I want to start all these other dreams that I've had. And I'm like, all right, this is just, you know, it's a summer job. It's only for 20-year-olds. I need to get serious in my life. Raft guiding's not serious. I need to do something serious. So I stopped. I moved down here to southern Ecuador. I started up my business down here. I started up growing mushrooms, learning how to grow mushrooms, had all sorts of its hardships, started learning how to be a dad and a husband and a homeowner and all sorts of stuff. It was wild. Life got serious real fast. And yeah, it had all sorts of its hardships. You know, some of which you know, I blew up my laboratory and I ran out of any sort of money and savings that we had, and I needed money, and I was like, you know what? I know how to raft guide. I'm sure they'll take me back. I'm gonna go back and become a raft guide again, because I had this epiphany where I'm like, you know what? Raft guiding is not just for 20-year-olds. Raft guiding is not just a summer job. I have become a professional in my field. I'm important. It's important to have professionals. It's important, especially to have professionals taking down your wives and children down the river. And yeah, I kind of had a whole new take on it. So I started coming back. I've been going back now for 6 years. 3 of those years are with my family. 3 of those years were just on my own. I kind of have become this weird seasonal migrant worker. And it's been a trip, man. It's wild being a migrant worker. Because it's like, yes, it is my home, you know. I did grow up there and was raised there, but going back, it's like, wow, it's changed so much. Like, one, time is advancing, and it's different than rural southern Campesino, Ecuador, in that like smartphones have come on, technology is changing. First thing I noticed when I went back after 2 years off was usually when you're talking in the vehicle, you turn around after you get back in and you start chatting and engaging and telling stories and jokes and whatnot. Well, after those 2 years off, I came back and I turned around and everyone was buried in their smartphone because they had like 3 hours or an hour away from their smartphone. That was a big deal, and they were back in it, and it took a little while to like adjust to that and adjust to all the new kind of the different things going out there, all like Airbnb being one of them. And my dad, he needed money, so he's been doing Airbnb. So like, I'm not always able to stay in the bedroom that I could stay in, so I'd stay in the office. Or sometimes if I worked late, I'd bring up my Paco pad, a nice comfortable rafting pad, and I'd sleep in the parking lot by the rafting lot.
You know, van life is big these days. I'm just gonna show you ground life here.
That's right, folks.
That's right, life of a migrant worker. Raft guide. Sometimes when you work late and start again in the morning, just better to sleep just next to the parking lot where you work. So that's what I do sometimes. Ground life. Ooh.
You know, just making it work to support these little chillins, and just make this weird, unique lifestyle that I've been putting together work. And support me too, you're right. And support my projects down here, and it's fun, and I love it. So it's pretty cool to be doing something for 20 years and like get really good at it and feel so comfortable at it. And I like, it's such a different world doing it now as a 37-year-old compared to a little 18-year-old. Cause yeah, I like feel so at home, and I can hold my own with those CEOs and those super affluent people from Aspen. Like I actually engage and bring something to the table, and we have a great time. Raft guiding is such a wild thing because it's this weird like combination of like stand-up comedian combined with like teacher combined with like field trip leader combined with like
It's a tough crowd out here today, but we're going to improve things, don't you worry. Right, we're rapidly approaching where we're going to start down here, guys. Oh dear, doom, death and destruction. We'll see about this.
This is a fun way to engage with people. You meet new people almost every day, and you get to like literally be in the same boat with them and get to know them and engage with them and be like really genuine them, but also be putting on a show at the same time. It's been a wild journey. I say almost every day because nowadays I've been doing it so long. I get to see people that I've seen year after year. They come with me year after year.
What's going on?
I know I've been taking some people for like 10 years straight, and I watch them grow up and go through their own life changes, and it's wild, man. This life is a wild trip, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to just tell my story, raft guiding. I hope it's interesting. I know it's kind of random, but and I'm keeping it rolling. You know, now I got the third generation here. I brought this raft down here to Ecuador. I'm going to do it down here, do a little commercial raft guiding down here, which is a whole nother story. I mean, this raft itself has so much stories. We bought this thing at Blazing in 2004, and now I have it in Ecuador. I can tell you tons of stories about this raft, and maybe I will one day. But yeah, it's been a wild journey. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking in. I hope this was worth your time. And come rafting with me one day. Yeah. And now I'm just rambling. Was that good video, Cyrus?
Right.
Yeah, you really think so? It looks like the boat hole's there, so we're gonna go boating soon. Down here in Ecuador. Where are we gonna go boating? In the jungle? In the Amazon?
In the Amazon, that's far.
It's not that far.
It's over that mountain.
It's over that mountain, or that mountain.
Oh,
That mountain. Bye to the future raft guides out there. Do it. Sweet. It's not just a summer job. It's awesome, right?